Hey guys, so today, I cannot talk like this. I'm not that enthusiastic, guys. I don't like screaming. Not gonna lie, like I'm loud, I talk loud, but then I also talk really soft. I don't really know. I'm a Taurus. No. I'm not a Taurus. I'm a Taurus rising. But my Pisces Mercury, it makes my like talking, my way I talk and when I talk kind of like weird. Anyway, so I don't know why I'm making this, honestly. I just thought like, why not? You know, because I just want to have this conversation. I think it's necessary. It's very necessary. So let's talk about Seddie versus Creddie. Our childhood really revolved around like Nickelodeon and Disney ships. Now, Carly and Freddie and Sam and Freddie were like very like Jacob and it was very like Jacob and Bella and Edward and Bella. Like, are you team Jacob, team Edward, are you team Sam, team Carly? Like, I love Carly, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to give it away. I guess I already gave it away. Yes, I'm team Creddie. No, I'm not. Oh my goodness. I'm Seddie. I can't believe I said that. It just came out. I'm not Creddie. No, I'm not. Not a single ounce of Creddie. I hate Creddie. Anyway, I didn't want to let you guys know what my opinion was at the end of the video, but it already kind of came out. Maybe I'll cut it out. I probably won't. So yeah, I like Seddie. Seddie's better. If you like Creddie, like why? Who likes Carly and Freddie? I tweeted this the other day and I was like, who the hell thought Carly and Freddie were cute? Because like really, like they're not. Okay, and I have my points. I have my list. I have my notes. Yes, I made notes. I'm Seddie all the way. I love Seddie from the beginning. And here's the thing. Here's one of my notes. There's tropes, okay? There's tropes. A lot of Disney and Nickelodeon shows have tropes, okay? They have three people. When there's three people in a friendship, either the main character ends up with the side friend, or the two side friends end up together. Now, when one of the side friends is like invested in the main character, like kind of obsessive, it never works, okay? Because the main character is like, it'll like work as friends, like, why do you like me like that? And then they end up with the other side character. It always happens. Now, it happens in Ant Farm. Fletcher liked China a lot, and China was kind of just like, ew. Eventually, like, eventually Olive and Fletcher got together because it just doesn't work. Like, China wasn't gonna be like, oh my god, I actually might like Fletcher, even though he's obsessed with me. Like, it doesn't work. Those tropes never end up like endgame. Like, maybe like a slight, like, maybe, but no, it doesn't end up together. This happened slightly on Hannah Montana, because I remember Oliver did have a crush on Hannah Montana. Not on Miley, but he'd had a crush on Hannah Montana. And then he ended up with, like, obviously a Lily in the end. But that's not as good as an example as Ant Farm. Ant Farm's a really good example of this. When the main character and the side character do end up together, it's usually like they're best friends and they fall for each other over time. It's not usually like one-sided at first. So that's why Carly and Freddie don't really work, because that trope never, like, it's never endgame, you know? Now let me get into the episodes. Carly never showed any interest in Freddie, and I mean, Freddie's affection for Carly, it's kind of like a fantasy, like, I don't know, like lusting, like, you know, it's not really like true feelings. He's kind of just like, she's hot, like, I really like her, like, Carly, like, it's not like actually like love. It's just like obsession. Like, it's just like, that's not like real feelings, you know? It's just like a fantasy. Now, Sam and Freddie have actual chemistry, okay? Yes, Sam is a bully, but that's because she likes him, okay? And Sam's just like that. There's no personality. But Sam, when you are mean to somebody, you like them for the most part. You know, that's a thing. And they even have that in an episode where Freddie's like, you know, when you're mean to somebody, that usually means you like them. And she's like, you know, no. But then it ended up she did like him. So let's get into the episode. Let's get into the episodes. I have this. You know, Carly was always like, ew, like this little dweeb likes me. Like, when was that ever gonna work, okay? only time she showed affection towards Freddie was when he saved her life, and I saved her life? I don't know. But, you know, that episode. When she almost got hit by a taco truck, and then he moved out of the way for her and got, you know, took the hit. She had a false, like, he's my hero, like, he's a hero type thing, I have feelings. But it's not real feelings. And then Freddie, obviously, always liked Carly, so he was just like, this is great. But then Sam came in because she was low-key jealous and was like, you know, Freddie. And she also was being a good friend to him, and she was like, Carly's not really into you, like, she was like, I know what she said, she was like, enjoy it while it lasts, or something like that. And he was like, what? And then blah, blah, blah. And then he confronted Carly about that, and then she was like, maybe you're right. And then, guess what? Guess what? After he was out of his cast, and after he was recovered, where was Carly? She never went back. She never cared. She never really liked him. Like, after I Saved Your Life, like, she never went back to him. So Sam was right. And then there was an episode where, don't get me wrong though, like, I do think the episode is very iconic. What is this person doing? Why are they pulling up right next to me? I'm not gonna lie, like, yes, the episode is very iconic, but it's just like, I'm not a Creddie shipper. It was just like, oh, like, this is cute, but like, it's not endgame. Like, I didn't think it was like cute. I was just like, you know, like, oh my goodness, they're kissing. Like, it was like that. But let's get to the real tea. And then I think there was like, okay, there also was an episode where Carly and Freddie were dancing, and Sam walks in and she's like, all sad because she was jealous and she wanted to be dancing with Freddie. And that scene, like, it kind of seemed like it was for like the Creddie shippers, but it was really for the Seddie shippers because Sam stepped in like, wow, okay. Like, she wasn't like, aw, she was like, oh, like, she was sad. And it's just like, that was for us, guys. That was for the Seddies. Let's get into Seddie. Because Creddie, that's really it. Like, and then we'll get to the ending. I don't even talk about that yet. Anyway, first of all, the most iconic kiss on TV. The Seddie kiss, the first kiss. And Carly knew that Freddie never had his first kiss, and she could have been like, you know what, Freddie, I'll kiss you. But no, she didn't. And then Sam admitted on TV, oh, not TV, Sam admitted on IG Live, that she never kissed anyone either. And then, you know, she went to see him, and then they kissed, where they're just like, well, why don't we just kiss to get over with? And it's weird, though, because, like, they are literally frenemies. Like, they hate each other. And they kissed just to, like, get it over with. Like, that says something. Like, they had chemistry, okay? Then they never talk about it, blah, blah. Then OMG. Freddie detects that Sam is in love with somebody, and it's Freddie. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, that's so cute. She's like in love with Freddie, and like, Freddie's not in love with Carly, okay? He just like has a little like obsession, lust, fantasy. It's not love. Sam had real feelings for Freddie, and then she kisses him, and he's all nice to her, like, I know it's hard to put your feelings out there, and then she just kisses him, and it's such a moment. Like, that was so iconic. That was such a moment. We all dropped, okay? Everyone was shook. And then she went to a mental hospital and was like, I'm crazy. But then at the very end, Freddie was like, this is a, you know, this is a like thing where people are like, well, Freddie doesn't really like Sam. But at the end of IOMG, he was like, you know what, no one ever asked me how I feel. And then she was like, go ahead and embarrass me. And he was like, then he kissed her, okay? And then he kissed her and showed everyone, no, I do like you. And the reason why Freddie could never really tell he had feelings for Sam was because Sam was so mean to him. Like, Sam literally, like, bullied him. So, like, why would, it didn't give Freddie any room to, like, have feelings because, like, she, you know, even in the IOMG, that before they kissed, he was like, you hate me. And she was like, I don't hate you. And that was so cute. That was so cute. Like, that's why. Because Sam acts like she hates him, so Freddie could never like her because he thinks she hates him. Unlike with Carly, Carly's nice and sweet, and he thinks, you know, maybe by chance Carly will like me, but she didn't. So there's someone right next to me getting their car. They're just a worker. It's fine. They're not judging me. It's totally fine. Anyway, so yeah, that was really uncomfortable. Carly's all sweet and nice. It's like, maybe Carly will like me one day. But Sam, she hates Freddie. So Freddie's like, not even a chance like Sam would ever like me, you know? So yeah, that's that out of the way. And yes, I'm talking about this in 2020. What about it? What about it? And let's get to the main gist. Okay, the main stuff. They date, they don't work out. And you know why? You know why? Because when couples get together on Nickelodeon or Disney, after their whole like build up, no one cares, okay? Nobody cares anymore when they're together. And it's sad, but it's true. That's why they broke up, because they wanted more. They wanted to like give us more of a storyline. They broke up because they had so much more to film, I think. So they were like, we're breaking them up. And they were like, they didn't like, you know, they didn't get along, they didn't have enough in common. I don't think they really gave each other enough of a chance though, you know? Like, they were young and like Freddie likes dorky stuff, Sam likes violent stuff, but like, I feel like when they're older, they'll be like, I can get this, you know? So, them breaking up, whatever. But you know what is really important to note? When they did break up, they both said I love you to each other, and they also didn't break up till midnight, because they wanted to kiss. Like, they still liked each other. They didn't even want to just break up and like, you know, just leave. They only were like, let's break up at midnight. Like, they liked each other still. They still had feelings, and they said I love you. Like, Carly and Freddie never had that. They never had that seriousness. Like, Freddie told Sam, I'm pretty sure first, that he loved her. Like, that's the key, that like Freddie did really like Sam. So people that say Freddie didn't even like Sam, like, that's not true. I'm so serious about this. Now we got to the worst episode, which is the last episode of Icarly, which why they do that, why they do that, why they do that, okay? I'm glad they got an actual ending because Victorious didn't. But Carly kissed Freddie at the last episode. Why did they do that? Why? You know why? Because they wanted to stir things up right at the end and be like, they didn't want to give you an end game. They're just like, who's end game? We don't know who's end game. You know, maybe Carly really does like Freddie. But then she kisses him and then just dips. She's like, mwah, Freddie, and then leaves. Like, that's so rude and confusing to Freddie. Like, the girl that you liked forever just kisses you and then leaves. Like, what was that? Okay, that meant absolutely nothing. That was the Carly, like, maybe I do like Freddie. That wasn't that. That was Carly, like, a goodbye kiss. Like, you were my friend for a long time, and I don't know what that was, okay? Like, it made no sense. It just didn't make sense. But thankfully Sam and Cat, I never watched Sam and Cat, but thankfully Sam and Cat existed, so Endgame was clear. And let me tell you why. So I watched this like whole like Seddie like thing on not Nick.com, on like YouTube. It was like Nickelodeon like couples like storyline, whatever, and then at the end it said like a Sam and Cat clip where Freddie comes to Sam and Cat in the show, and so Cat calls up Freddie, makes up a lie that Sam's in the hospital. He comes, they go through some crap. Freddie ends up in the hospital with Robbie, okay? At the end, at the very end of the scene, Freddie's in the hospital, and Sam is like, hey, like, when you get out of here, let's grab some dinner. Well, I don't know if she said that exactly. I think she said dinner.
Hey, Benson. When your face heals up, and you can chew again, let's you and me go grab some dinner and have some fun.
And dinner is a very important word because she didn't say like lunch. I don't know if she said lunch. If she did, correct me. But I think she said dinner, and dinner is kind of like date-ish, you know? Dinner is like really setting like a tone for like date. Like, she clearly still liked him, you know? And she was really jealous when, you know, Kat was all over him. And I think there's some other little things going on, like Freddie admitting like he really likes Sam, like somewhere in there, like little hints in there, like that they still like really liked each other still. I'll throw them in here somewhere.
Robbie is in love with me.
So, Freddie's in love with me.
Now, wait a second.
Oh, what kind of friend are you? Bringing Freddie here and flirting with him when you know he's the only guy I ever loved?
What now?
I'm exaggerating to make a point.
But yeah, they're endgame, guys. They're endgame. If you didn't know, they're endgame. Like, I'm sure after he got to the hospital, they went on a date and they rekindled and they tried again, and Carly wasn't there to talk bullshit to Spencer and them overhear it and they break up. That didn't happen because Carly's not there. Carly's not even in the scene anymore. Okay, I love Carly. Don't get me wrong. But Creddie is not endgame. Sorry to tell you, sorry to say, Seddie actually is endgame. So finally one show, I don't know why my voice made that noise. So finally one show actually had a good endgame, kind of, not exactly, like obviously it's on Sam and Cat, but like still kind of yes, okay? Girl Meets World, I'm gonna make a video about that. If you want me to talk about Girl Meets World and everything wrong with Girl Meets World, I will. Because I'm a big Boy Meets World fan, and the way they did Girl Meets World made me so mad, okay? Endgame on there is awful. I don't believe it. It's not real. They just messed that whole thing up, okay? They had so many opportunities for that show to make it so good. And what they do, not listen to their viewers, okay? They just were like, we're gonna go where we're gonna do. And we're not gonna listen to what anyone thinks. Anyway, back to Icarly. So, they're endgame, and they're endgame. And can I just have a little like side bit? Unrelated, what was up with Carly and that Beanie Baby dude? The really hot guy that she dated in that one episode? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about why she dumped him because he had Beanie Babies? Like, let's say there's a really hot bad boy. But like he's a bad boy, so you're like, is he trustworthy? And then you see he has Beanie Babies. I'm like, he's the one. I would have been like, literally marry me right now. Like he's hot, motorcycle, bad boy, and he has a soft side. So what is wrong with her? Why was she like, ill, Beanie Babies, like, eh? The Beanie Babies were like, okay, he has a soft side. Like, he's not just a bad boy. Why do you want just a bad boy? Like, that's toxic. Does she want a toxic relationship? Like, I don't understand. I love Beanie Babies. I would have been so happy and had a collection and had them in the case, okay? I have Beanie Babies and I'm not even that good with my collections. Like, he had them in the case still. Like, he had them set up. He was so good with them. And Carly was just like, it's weird. Like, that episode made me so mad, okay? Anyone else, because I was very mad. I would have stayed with him and been like, oh my goodness, you're perfect. You're literally perfect. Beanie Babies, and you're hot, and you're a bad boy, but you have a soft side. What else did she want? Like, what did she want? Like, what does Carly want, okay? I love Carly, but I question her, like, what she wants, you know? I feel like she's very indecisive, you know? You could have he wanted to give you a Beanie Baby. I would have been like, thank you. I would have been like, oh my god, is that Beanie Babies? I would have been so hyped. I would have been like, Beanie Babies. Oh my goodness. Tell me about every single one. I would have been so happy. Anyway, guys, that had me so mad. But yeah, Seddie's endgame. Creddie sucks. If you like Creddie, I'm sorry for you. If you like Creddie, comment down below why you like Creddie and why you think they should be endgame, because if it wasn't any of my points I listed out that I debunked, I really want to know. Like, I really want to know why you like Creddie. Because I went through, like, the points that people make. So, let me know if you ship, who you ship, and why you ship them. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you hated how Carly treated, I think his name was Griffin. I don't know if that's right. But he also was in Hannah Montana as a bad boy. I love him. Can we just talk about that? He was great as Hannah's boyfriend, and he could have been Carly's boyfriend if she wasn't, like, rude. Anyway, comment below what you think. Thanks for watching. Okay, I forgot a point. There was also a point where Freddie was like, the kiss was intense in IOMG. And intense is a really interesting word choice because intense means like passion and love. Like, that's what he meant by that. So they had love.